So after 16 months of absolutely nothing coming out from the MCU, Marvel has now released the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. So I've been really looking forward to this TV show. I'm a really massive fan of the character of Wanda. I feel like she kind of gets brushed under the rug and people kind of forget about her and don't really talk about her as much. So I was kind of glad to see she kind of gets the front and center of this TV show. She is the main character. It's about her. So I was kind of glad to see a bit more character development being given to this character, because she's been given a small amount throughout the movie she's been in, but I've always wanted to see her being given more, because I do honestly think she's a great character. I think Elizabeth Olsen is a fantastic actress and just works really well with this character in this TV show, really well as well. I've only seen 2 episodes, but what I've seen from her so far, she is really, really good as the character of Wanda. Vision, on the other hand, I've never been a massive fan of. I think he's cool design. I like the idea of Vision, but I just never really liked the character of Vision. I always kind of felt like he was more of an afterthought. If I was thinking of Avengers, he'd be kind of down the bottom, because he's never really had anything to me that made him stand out as a good character. But he's got to come with Wanda, so I knew he'd be inside of this show as well. It's called WandaVision, so of course Vision's going to show up in this show. But the concept of this show really is what got me intrigued by the fact that we're going to see WandaVision jumping between each decade of television. I was excited to see that. The first 2 episodes really let into the 50s and 60s. You've got a laugh track. You can feel that it's very early kind of TV sitcoms. Like, it wouldn't be a sitcom from now or even back in the 80s or the 90s. You can feel that it's 100% a 50s TV show. Even the way they've got it filmed, it's on a 16:9 as far as I know. That's what's filmed. So you got the black bars on either side. You got the black and white screen that really looked really well. It never got boring. It never got dull. It worked really well as well. I think just the way it filmed, the laugh track, all of it, I just think worked well for being the fact that it was being in the 50s and 60s. It really made you feel like it was from the 50s and 60s, but with a 2021 budget on top of it that kind of helped make this TV show look as good as it did, because this TV show does look really good. Like, I loved I don't love them. I like Daredevil and I like Jessica Jones season 1, but those TV shows, they all just kind of had the same kind of setting. None of them kind of felt different than the other besides the characters, because they were all in New York City. They all kind of had the same kind of polished look to them all. Or WandaVision is completely different. It mostly takes place in one house, but besides going at a few locations, but majority of these 2 episodes do take place in the one setting, kind of letting onto the sitcom way of being told. But I do like the way it's completely different than the Marvel Netflix shows. I imagine Falcon and Winter Soldier will have some similarities to that, just by nature, the fact that it is people punching and kicking people, rather than WandaVision, which was never going to be like that. But as of what we've seen right now, this is just amazing. No, it's not amazing. I think the concept is amazing and what they can do with it is amazing. But the first 2 episodes, if I'm being honest with the first 2 episodes, I think they were kind of forgettable. And I imagine as it goes on, they will become more forgettable, because these 2 episodes, episode 2 in particular, is more of a setup for what's going to happen. Episode 1, nothing really sets up. It just kind of is its own thing. But episode 2, it's got a few little things to set up what's going to happen later on. So I felt like not an awful amount happened. Maybe by the end of the season, it'll all come around and I'll notice stuff in this episode that does work with the later episodes of this season. But as of right now, I think these 2 episodes, even though I had fun, even though they're funny, Paul Bentley, or Bentley, whatever his name is particularly funny in this TV series, especially in episode 2. But I just found these 2 episodes to be they're just okay. I was kind of expecting them to be a bit better than this, especially because it's the first episode. It didn't really hook me, episode 1. Episode 2 kind of got me wanting to see what happens next. But episode 1, I was thinking, oh, is that it as well? It was only 20 minutes. I was kind of disappointed with episode 1. I think starting off wasn't that intriguing. I only wanted to continue because it's Marvel. But episode 2 makes you want to see what happens next. But honestly, episode 1, I kind of thought was a bit of a dud, because again, not an awful amount happens. It is the 50s era, but other than the fact that it's Marvel, I would have had no interest in continuing on with this series if all I had seen is episode 1. Episode 2, though, you kind of get a bit more of what this show is going to be about. You kind of get a bit more setup to the following the rest of the season, and I did enjoy episode 2. I thought episode 2 in particular was a lot more funnier, especially with the Vision character. He's got a bit more kind of wit to him and a bit more comedic moments throughout this episode. Wanda in this one kind of takes a bit more of a backseat rather than what she did in the first episode. I think like episode 1 was more her, and then episode 2 was more Vision, because you kind of get a bit more of Vision in episode 2. And I think Vision's more memorable in episode 2 than he is in episode 1. But I'm excited to see what happens in episode 3. Bear in mind, I said didn't really enjoy episode 1. I did enjoy episode 2, but episode 3 I'm excited to see what happens, because the way episode 2 wraps up, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Overall though, with the series as a whole, I am really looking forward to what happens, because as I said, the concept alone to this TV series has just got me excited. Again, love the character of Wanda. I want to see what happens next. I want to see how this is all going to play out in the season, as well as going to go to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. As far as I know, Scarlet Witch is going to be in that. Actually, no, I'm confident, I'm 100% sure she is in the Multiverse of Madness as well. This plays into Spider-Man Far From Home, which is my most anticipated movie for this year, which looks, I can't even express what Spider-Man Far From Home or Spider-Man 3 looks like, because there's just so much casting stuff. So I'm really excited to see what the hell Wanda is going to do that's literally going to destroy the multiverse, destroy Spider-Man, destroy Doctor Strange. I'm just really excited to see how the series is going to play out and see what happens next with Wanda. But in all honesty, there isn't really much to talk about with episode 1 and 2, because not an awful amount happens kind of developing the story. It more so just relies on the 50s and the 60s TV show nostalgia. But if you want to hear my thoughts on the later episodes of WandaVision, make sure to click the subscribe button so you can come back for my review next week of episode 3. And as always, thanks for watching.